course, at 602-666-6027. Today, I wanted to discuss a subject which many people that are alternative healers have a bit of a disaster with, and that is being a psychic reader or massage healer or alternative healer of any kind that wants to benefit from the low cost of rent and housing and enjoy the beautiful countryside, but at the same time find that you're in cities with conservatives that want to drive you out. And why is this happening? Well, one of the things I believe that conservative towns, especially smaller conservative towns, do not want to see are signs that are objectionable to their Christianity. And that's if you are in a Christian town. If you are in another country, maybe it's Muslim, maybe it's wherever. But the main thing is that when you start advertising what you are in a conservative town, and you are a psychic, and you are a massage healer or whatever, you are officially stating that you are a quack to the conservatives' town. And therefore, underplay. The most important thing that you can do is just remember that what you do as a gift for your healing, for your psychic abilities, is something that needs to be handled with kid gloves. For instance, I have written a book. It's called Gardens of the Sisterhood. Create a Mystical Healing Garden, sold at Amazon and Barnes & Nobles. And what it talks about is the first thing you need to do is create an entrance to your shop or to your house that blends with your environment. In my neighborhood, I started out with an angel that was over 300 pounds being taken in on a boom truck and put in on a raised bed of flowers. She's beautiful. At first, some of the neighborhood was a little bit, now what's this? What's this? They were very bit, not very bit, they were a lot, concerned. They weren't sure whether that was a fairy or whether it was a good angel. And she's a beautiful angel, and she's made, well, she is a cemetery angel, but she is a beautiful, discreet, tasteful angel, and she's made of concrete, and she's been sitting in front of my green studio for almost 10 years now. I then proceeded to make sure that the entrance of my shop had beauty, intrigue, flowers, so that most of all it began to draw interest in a positive way and add to the neighborhood essence in a way that they could relate to. I was not going to hang signs with flying eyeballs. I was not going to put up questionable pyramids or, of course, any kind of signs that they may misinterpret as something else than what it is. In the case of massage healing, I think that, just being able to say something like angel touch, making sure that what you say you are has a phrase on it that can coincide with the kind of close-knit Christianity community that would understand positive, that you're not a massage healer selling prostitution, that you're not going to be somebody that's going to take down the neighborhood, You're somebody that loves beauty and flowers and discretion, and you can blend in your environment. Now, the funny thing is that's just step number one. Step number two is you have to make sure that you can walk up discreetly, whether it's in a mask now during the virus, or whether it is helping out on a community event by making friends with people that can share the word in a small, close-knit town. That you're a good person, that you're friendly, that you have loving qualities. These things will take you far in getting clients. There will be a few in the town that want to help you out, that want to be those people that help start you out. And if you do them favors in return, for instance, a free reading for a client that they bring to you, or a massage therapy session, whatever it is you do, give gratitude to the people in the town that are helping you out by bringing clients. There is also a very strong okay, so we have a beautiful entrance, discreetly in line with your community, going out of your way to be friendly with people that are not normally people that you would have in your everyday circle, but they are your community. So making sure that they understand that what you are as an alternative healer is something that can coincide with them. Number three, if you are someone that has good reviews, make sure that you reach out to traditional workers in your town that may have a similar element as yourself. If you are a massage therapist or a Reiki healer, make sure that you rub shoulders with a person that is a doctor or a counselor in the neighborhood that can attest to your credibility and therefore bring clients for you. In return, you will do the same for them. That is the first three steps in blending in a redneck community, and I say redneck teasingly. You know, the most important thing is it's not good for any of us to typecast. There are spiritual workers that are in every kind of field that can surprisingly be Republicans just as much as liberals. We can't just immediately seem to believe that anybody that is an alternative worker is also a liberal. There are many that are not. We also have to remember that contacts, favors, special bonus things for those that help you in a community, making friends, rubbing shoulders with the people that may be a little bit questionable about you. And also making sure that as much as you want to yell and scream that you should understand I'm a good person, no one's going to if you have that attitude. Do not become rebellious. Do not take on an attitude. Use your soft voice. Use your soft manners. Be kind. Understand that people that do not understand different races, different alternative healing modalities are going to need a soft touch so that they can soon learn to accept you. I can promise you, they may not throw you into the community city council listing of business right away, but within a year or two, if you have proven your colors of being an ethical person and have contributed in some way to the open-mindedness and popularity of the city or town, you will be in that internet site that maybe some of the oldsters will first will not want you to be, but eventually you will be. And the most important thing to remember is don't be a fly-by-night. If you want to settle in a community, be dedicated. Don't just immediately say things are bad, I'm not going to take it, I'm off. By doing that, you're making it tough for the next alternative worker who may want to settle in and be that person that can do what you could not. So that's the most important thing to remember when you are blending in your energy and your lovely skills and gifts into a town. It's just the way it is. So I want to thank you, anybody that was patient enough to stick with me on this, and realize that the most important thing you can do is just be patient with the community that you're with and make sure that you understand. They want to like you. They want to be considered open-minded, but sometimes it just takes a while, and you just have to do that. So, Jan, I want to thank you for being in the room with us. You sure may have a general reading. I want to thank Russell for being with us today. Thank you for being with us and making sure that you understand that how much I appreciate you for sticking through with all the glitches. All right. So, again, the number, if you want to call in for a reading, is 602-666-6027. That's right. Okay. So we're going to start out with Jan. And looking at Jan, please understand I'm hanging on to my cell phone with my shoulder. I can't put on my speakerphone because that will not coordinate with today's method of giving readings. So, Jan, here's what comes through on your general reading. Jan, the first thing that comes through says, you're feeling very cautious lately. There is a sense that you feel as if you want to be seen as somebody that makes a difference in your job and also be somebody that's respected. It could also mean that there is somebody I'm shown with very alpha energy. I want to say it's a male, but it could also be an alpha female. She seems to be somebody that is very, I'm going to say a little bit controlling. But she also seems to be somebody that, from experience, you know, you may have to kiss a little ass. You may have to do a few things you don't want to do in order to be able to have her respect and to be an integral part of your work environment. It shows that you've seen in the last 3 weeks to 3 months, Jan, a time where you feel as if you did not know where you stood. It seemed as if you were working from home, and I know you were, or that you felt that career was kind of in a slump. But I also show in the future the end of depression seen within the next 5 weeks to 5 months. Things seem to be looking up, Jan, and that there is a sense that the only thing you need to watch out for is being grumpy, finding yourself be negative, feeling as if you just cannot get into people who try to act as if they're the boss or acting like they know more than you do. Remember, even though at this particular time you may not like to have to kiss ass for anybody, try not to think of it as that. Try to think of it as just doing what you need to do to finish up your life in this career. at least in the building or in a foundation where that community business may be going on. It shows right now that the one thing that you don't want to have to do is think about how you can be strong, what you can do to make everyone happy. You just want to be able to, be able to be respected without having to jump hurdles for it. You see people around you and they seem so weak. They seem like they just aren't as good as you are. They seem as if they are people that are getting way more attention with way less seniority. I'm shown also that one of the things that you want is you just are tired of looking for ways to fit in. And you want to be able to, with caution, not have to get close to anybody at this particular time. COVID is very dangerous, of course. But also, I think that with a person with seniority, you want to be respected for that. You don't want to find that you have to keep proving yourself and watch people way less than you in skill sets get more. Your reading says be very cautious of your grumpiness. Be very cautious of saying things that you don't want to say that could end up sabotaging you at this time. If I look at, is there anything else that you need to know, Jan, during this time of unknowns? And looking at that, Jan. And remember, those that call 602-666-6027, I so appreciate it when you do. It gives me a voice to read on. So here's what comes through. It is extremely important at this particular time to do what is traditionally best for you in your job. You know, Jan, you are at a changing point in your life. There is brand new creative potential ahead of you this year. And may I say that within 10 months, I'm not even sure that you're going to be with this specific environment job. It may be that you're going to move on or do something else on your own. But for now, do everything you can to fit in the best you can. You will find that it works for you. If you decide to go somewhere else, which maybe will happen and maybe not, you'll be able to get great reviews. If it has to do with getting special privileges of working at home by kissing a little ass right now, do so. I believe that by 5 months you will find that you're working at home, if not already, full time. All I can say is that you have proven yourself. You are somebody that is dependable. And my feeling is that you will be rewarded with this. So hang on and keep on doing what you're doing. Don't get grumpy. And remember, you may just have to give a few more compliments you don't want to have to give at this time. But it's necessary. We have Russell. Russell's from Ohio. He says, "Hi, Anne-Marie. What should I do with my 3 jobs? Get rid of them? The one part-time job, people coming in after me keep coming in late. The other part-time, they call me to work when I can't. And the full-time one still is filling me with anxiety." Well, Russell, you know it's against the law for me to tell you what to do. I can only tell you what I see. I feel that right now the best I can do is give you a general, as I did with Jan. Hold on just a second. So, the first thing it says is that at this particular time, you're searching to find a way to be less spread out. You feel as if you're giving 1% to every direction and just feeling completely tired, torn, and lost. Your reading says that you must do something about this because within 16 weeks, there is a sense that you have to choose which direction is going to give you the most peace. Because if you don't, you're going to go into burnout and go into complete crisis. I am not sure what this is about. In 16 weeks, it shows that something around you is going to disintegrate. By disintegrate, I mean either a foundation of a job that's not going to be around, or there's a sense that it could be you just having a meltdown. Russell, it shows right now the one thing that you don't want, or one thing that is happening, is you are on the creative calm before the aggressive storm. So my feeling is that don't do anything sudden at this time. Your reading says in the last 3 weeks to 3 months, you've been stretched thin and you feel like you're not great or not good at anything you're doing because you're just worn out. Most of all, you feel like the world has lost its romance, and maybe there's just no one around you to give you any appreciation, which gives you deep regret. I feel behind you within the matter of 5 weeks, 5 months. There is a brand new opportunity for you. So should you get rid of your jobs? I would say not right away. The most important thing you can do is hang on to what you have for at least another 2 months. If you want to call me and give me each job name separately, I could read on whether that one is worth your time and effort. But again, remember, this is your life. You have to do what you want. I'm a reader, but I can never tell you what to do, only what I see. All right? All right. We have Richard. Hi, Richard. How are you? Richard is from Maine. It says, between a hostile divorce last year and catching the COVID-19 this year, recovered, but it was hard. Things look pretty grim lately. Any possible good news in the cards? Well, you know, I'm always a little bit, I can tell you what I see, Richard, and I will tell you the good with the bad, because that's how I read. I don't want to do sugar-coated readings, even though I would love to just tell you happy, pretty things. But I think it's important to have a realistic checkup rather than just look at things with rose-colored glasses, if it's all right, Richard. So I'm going to look at that. And, Richard, here's what comes up on your reading. And I'm going to Richard and Richard from Maine. Look for this year, Richard, for you to feel more like you're in the driver's seat again. Some of the insecurities that you went through were hell on earth. No doubt about that. But I also believe, Richard, that you are going to find this year as feeling like you're getting back in the driver's seat again and more in control of your options. I'm not sure who this is, but I'm shown another woman who seems to be telling you how it is. I'm not sure if she is a divorcee, your ex. I don't know whether she has been especially hard to get along with, but she ain't done. She looks like she still has some stuff to tell you. I'm shown right now that you feel like life has gotten just a little bit stuck. And most of all, so much has happened that you never, ever dreamed would. None of this. It's just like a unwritten story that popped out at you, and it was not in the cards at all for you to have any of this happen in your mind. Just remember, it is important for you not to jump into another relationship too soon. My feeling is that even though you would like to have love and you would love to be able to have a new reason to get up in the morning and excitement, the chances of you falling into another relationship too soon that would remind you of your ex is pretty good. So here's how to stop that. Stop fixing people. Stop being the person everybody goes to, the buddy, the person that makes it right for everybody else, Richard. Your reading shows that right now, the one thing you don't want to do is dream and dream and dream about all the things you're going to do and then find, like the last 5 months, that wham, something totally unexpected in an unwritten story happens to you again. So I think it's okay if you dream, and I think that you are a visionary at heart, but just keep it realistic. Your reading shows, Richard, that the one thing that you also do not want to happen is another meltdown, another ending. You're tired of endings, and you're tired of feeling sick, and you're tired of all the things that came into your life and threw you for a loop. And I'm shown that it isn't like you're asking for to be, a celebrity or have star status. You just want, first of all, your ex to leave you the hell alone, and you also want to be able to know that what you touch won't turn to shit rather than gold. And I feel that that is going to happen for you if you just stay away from romance for a little while. Don't jump into the quick answer of love being the retribution for a chapter that let you down. Yes, I know it was a year ago that you got divorced, Richard, but remember, like attracts like, and you're still broken. You still feel lost. You still feel worn down from the COVID-19. You need to remember that at this time, love you, take it easy, and whatever you do, stay away from bossy women. You don't need another bossy woman telling you what to do. Because if that happens, you're going to find that as fascinated as you are with strong women, you find yourself right back into feeling that you are going to be lost again in anxiety and asking, what did I do to deserve this? So whatever you do, Richard, make sure you just get rest, exercise. Those are good things. Build yourself up. Get buff. Those are good things. Stay away from women that tell you what to do. That's a good thing. And remember that it's okay to chase your dreams. But watch out what you're dreaming. Take off your rose-colored glasses and don't let yourself get too lost into dreams that are too good to be true. Let this year be the year of recovery, physical strength, working out, getting your body back, and making sure that you stay healthy, happy, and feeling complete. And that's what I see, Richard. Okay? All right. Well, I want to make sure that you guys know again, the book that I wrote on how to blend into the community as an alternative healer in a conservative town is called Gardens of the Sisterhood. And it's called specifically Create a Mystical Healing Garden. But the mystical healing is also about learning how to blend into your community. The most important thing that you can remember when you are an alternative worker is not trying to prove to everybody that you're going to liberate them, that you're going to somehow find a way that's going to make them more enlightened. Maybe they'll enlighten you. Maybe they're the ones that need to teach you something. But the most important thing you can do is remember that as you find yourself blending into your community, make a beautiful garden entrance. You can do this in a small city by hanging pots with shepherd's hooks, with planters, with arches in the front that help people to enter into your specific building or your different kind of business. It's just remembering that when you are an alternative healer, you are like all of the spiritual advisors who are now no longer working from a lot of metropolitan city shops, but living in small towns on Blacktop America. And whether you're an intuitive or a Reiki healer or a massage dealer, it's just important to remember that you have to blend with your neighbors. You have to. And starts with the entrance. The entrance of your shop is your garden portal. And the secret to a beautiful shop or garden is the ability to be just able to have something that is meticulous, well kept up, no gum wrappers or gum stuck on the sidewalk in front of it. You want to maintain a profile of integrity. It's also important to remember that if you want to read tarot on your gardens, I have written books on tarot gardening. I think that if you are opening up a new shop, anywhere you go, and if you are into the paranormal, you've seen people that have bought shops, you've seen people that have bought homes to be their studios to work from. It's okay if you give that shop a good cleansing. Read its energy. You can do that with tarot. You can do that with pendulums. You can do it with Reiki healing. And the most important thing to remember is that if you are a person that's retiring from, or maybe a victim of COVID-19 that is learning to start to have your own business and you're spreading your wings to become a full-time alternative worker, you can do that by just learning to make connections. And remember, most of all, to get those reviews. You need those reviews to have respect. People don't even want to do business with people that don't have reviews. So make sure that you make a few friends in town. Ask them to please exchange a review for giving them a free service. When you do that, they will bless you with a favor back, whether it is a review on Google or on a website. It'll just help you to be able to fit in and get more clients. And again, if you want to buy my book on all of this, go to Amazon or Barnes & Nobles, and it's called Gardens of the Sisterhood. Create a mystical healing garden. Why did I call it that? Because it's a way to create a garden that will give intrigue, resonate well with the people in your community in a beautiful way that they can trust. And if they see that you're adding beauty and fascination in a very ethical and powerful entrance of beauty, they're going to give you back the favor by being kind and giving you business back. And I know that for sure. I have lived in my small town now for 20 years. I've been a reader for 21 years full-time in my town. And they are very good and loyal to me, and they have always worked with me. And I am now, it took years, but I am now on the conservative business listing of my town. And believe me, that was wonderful. All right. I've got Russ. So, Russ, I'm going to take you. Hello, Russ. How are you?
And Marie, another nice evening here today.
Yeah, it was great to be able to see you, and thank you for calling in. I appreciate that. Did you want me to read specifically on any of those places, or what would you like?
Because like I mentioned in the Inquick, I do feel like I'm a little stretched out too, because it's just I got a lot of other people calling off at the 2 part-time jobs. They keep seeming like they call me. The one in particular is at Sunoco. Like the one in particular at Sunoco is like the last 3 shifts I worked there. Had one person no-show a week ago yesterday. And, of course, the guy wanted me to work the 8-hour shift for that, and I couldn't. Didn't want to. And then Saturday I had to stay an hour and a half late because somebody else was going to be late. And then last night again, of course, had to stay like 15 or 20 minutes late because the kid was taking over for me, had to go get himself some food. So, of course, instead of leaving early, he showed up on time, he showed up on time, but I had to stop and get food first, which was a little delay.
Right.
So I feel like I'm kind of being taken advantage of.
Yeah, I think you are too, Russ. And I would say that this is one job that I do not see long-term in your future. Of course, I would not quit it until you know for sure you have something that's going to replace it or give you a full-time work in a place that you love, or can at least endure. But this place, it says this: same old, a sense that you feel physically exhausted, as if you're giving way more than you're getting back in return. It was a place to start over. It was a place to help you out. It was a place to get ahead. But now it's same old, same old.
Oh, it definitely is. Yeah, that's exactly right, where, it's just I'm giving more than I'm getting, and it's not really not going anywhere.
Right.
And then, like the main job's still a little bit, it's still the same old anxiety issues, and I was clocked out like an hour and a half early again today, and I've been losing all kinds of hours like crazy there too, because just due to lack of work.
Well, what is the name of that job?
It's called Sterling.
Okay. So if I look at Sterling in your future, Russ, here's what comes through. Well, the good thing is that it shows there's going to be a turnaround for you in a more positive way. Have you consulted them about a raise or some kind of job change at all?
I actually did have an interview for a different one. Here now it's been about 5 weeks. And I was about 4.5 to 5 weeks.
It shows in September there is an escalation or a job promotion for you in which you will be able to have more leisure and given more control. I think your ethical nature is being appreciated greatly, and I feel that you will find that they do give you that, that sense of recognition that you want. And I don't think they want to lose you. And I think that if you find another job that you can use as leverage, I would go ahead. But I'm pretty sure that these people they don't want to lose you at all.
Yeah, because they do seem to be willing to work with me, because I know I haven't been perfect there in doing the work, and they seem to be, you're developing and you're growing, and they understand it's been a little tough.
Right. 7 weeks is when it says more empowerment and some kind of job change for the better, which would make it end of September. So 2 months would be. This is almost the end of. This is almost the end of July, so that would make it August, September. So end of September, beginning of October is when I see it. 8 weeks.
Yeah, so Yeah, so it'll be right after my anniversary. My anniversary is September 11th, so.
Whoops. Somebody just took a Harley somewhere.
I'm out taking a walk right now. Yeah, I'm out walking right now, so. That's so yeah.
There he goes. There's Russ going off on his Harley.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, and what was your other job again?
The other job is a local Walgreens, and strangest thing about the Walgreens is that for probably last 3 months they haven't really been scheduling me a whole lot, maybe one or two shifts at most a month. Mm-hmm. But this week they got me like 4 shifts, and next week they got me 5 shifts. So all of a sudden, out of the blue, giving me more than I would want instead of actually less than what I would want.
Let me ask you, how do you think about Walgreens in comparison to your other jobs? What are you doing?
Walgreens, I'm just a cashier, front-end cashier.
Mm-hmm. Not just, you are.
Yeah, so the job itself isn't so bad, but it's lower paying than the other two. It's the cheapest out of the 3. I don't mind it necessarily, but they don't really seem to support their employees very well. Like I had an incident with the customer last shift I was in, and the guy who was the manager at the time, he was sort of backing the customer. So it's not a lot of support for the employees.
Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that. Well, it could be a winning position for you, but I don't see that it is. I think this is a job that could create you a lot of stress and meltdown, it says, because once you start to say yes to all the shifts, then pretty soon they demand it of you all the time. So it seems as if it's may I say, you need to learn to say no at times.
Yeah, that's one thing I don't do very well sometimes is to say no. So, matter of fact, Walgreens called me yesterday. Yeah, Walgreens called me yesterday to actually come in to do a shift when I was already scheduled to work at the gas station. Mm-hmm. So that was interesting. So I had to tell them no yesterday, but I'm sure she wasn't happy. But
yeah, well, all I can say, Russ, is that I feel that the first job and the second job. The first job, it says, I can't remember what came up. Was it the second job? I'm losing track of my readings here.
Yes, Sunoco was the first one.
Yeah, and I can't remember. Well, I'm already lost on what I saw on that one.
Sterling was the full-time one.
Uh-huh. Okay, and Sterling, it says, was that the one that we saw would be giving you a promotion if you wanted one? Yes, okay. So I think that you're going to want to go with the job that gives you the most hours and in a way that you won't have to spread yourself so thin. I think that it's going to make you angry and bitter if you continue to do that, and you're going to wear yourself out.
Yeah, it makes it. Yeah, I definitely don't want to do that. I know it's just. Yeah,
then you're gonna. Yeah.
Yeah, there's
Russ,
times, I definitely am worn out. So.
Yeah, you need to learn to say no, and you need to be able to find balance in these jobs. So I see that the next 2 months, bear it out. Bear it out. I think you're going to see that things really get back on track for you. Walgreens, I see a meltdown. They're going to throw more and more and more at you. And the second or the full-time job is the one I see the most promise for you. Not to say you'll become president or manager, but I feel that they'll give you a promotion as long as you make sure that you're consistent about reminding them. Okay.
The spot I interviewed for there, they haven't made a decision yet, but they opened up a second one, so that's always promising there too. So.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, I thank you so much. Take care, Russ. Bye. Hi, Miss Anita. How are you?
Hi.
You sound chipper.
I thought the time was up.
I don't think so. It's 5:55, isn't it? Give me Kim, let me give you a short reading. Can I give you a short reading and just tell you what comes through?
Sure.
All right. So this is what comes through, baby girl. And thank you for being patient and waiting for me. And what comes through says, you are on the verge of creative potential for your next 2 months. I'm shown better times. I'm showing more relaxation. I'm showing more peace. But it says don't take it for granted. If you become weak and start going backwards on the behavior that made you feel like you were gaining more respect and you let go, you're going to find that what happens is that you go backwards. So I'm going to say I see August and September awesome for you. I see November and December hard times for you, but only because it says you need to keep your attitude up. Whatever it is that you're doing is helping you. Don't let up. Stick to your guns. If you do, things are going to be awesome for you within the next 5 months, but don't let down your guard, okay?
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, I've been in a lot of fear lately, but
I think you're doing something different, though, because what I've shown is August looks like a month of good things happening instead of bad, and that September is also seen as a time to romance yourself, which means time to do some things for yourself that make you feel good and make you feel happy. I think that you're just worrying way too much about how everybody else thinks and what you can do for your mom and dad. And I think right now you need to take a vacation from all this and you need to take a breather. If you do, I think it'll help you in the coming days. It's 6. I got to go. Thank you.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye.
God.